So with the state championships done, the Libertadores finishing tonight with no Brazilian teams involved, the domestic Brazil Cup about to get serious, and with the domestic league in round 17, let's continue this mid-season review with clubs from Sao Paulo State, together accounting for a record 8 continental and 7 Club World Cup titles. Corinthians started the year absolutely soaring, finishing atop the mighty group of death in the Libertadores, only to come crashing down in the round of 16s to this year's Cinderella story, and eventual semi-finalist Guarani of Paraguay. To top it all off, they lost not only their continental title hero Emerson Sheik, but also their Club World Cup hero Paulo Guerrero, both to Flamengo. Well, that was then. In football, especially Brazil, things change at an almost bipolar level. Timão now find themselves undefeated in 8, standing in second place, right behind Atlético Mineiro. They have a solid home and road record, the best defensive record in the league, and according to many, the most well-prepared coach in the nation, Chichi, who's keen on bringing in a reference striker still this year. If they don't end up winning their 6th league title or the Brazilian Cup, I expect them at least making the next year's Libertadores. In January, Sao Paulo were labeled as the second best team of the country. And when Cruzeiro lost all their stars from last year's title, the side from the Morumbi automatically were first in line in prediction boards. But after an average Libertadores campaign with an elimination to Cruzeiro on penalties, they lost their commander and man who led them to 3 successive league titles last decade, Muricy Ramalho, who needed to focus on his health after going way beyond any human being's acceptable stress level. Today, an inconsistent run, though maintaining an unbeaten home record. This while losing majorly influential players, something that really bothered newcomer to Brazil, the excellent Colombian coach Juan Carlos Osorio, who's still adapting to the complicated ordeal that is Brazilian football. A bit above mid-table or a top 4 finish would probably be their best case scenario this season. And Palmeiras, aside from leaders Atlético Mineiro and second place Corinthians, I don't really see another side with a future as bright as the club who just last season nearly relegated for a 3rd time in 8 years, causing multi-millionaire chairman Paulo Nobre to throw down his own money, bringing over 20 new players to be trained by the defending back-to-back national champion coach Marcelo Oliveira, who has the fiercest and most encouraging transfer market negotiator Alexandre Matos working with them. Palmeiras were state runners-up in May and today find themselves at the top part of the standings, recently going undefeated in 8 and eyeing the Brazil Cup, all at a time when most thought they'd still be in a reformulation process. Now come every January, and Santos, for 9 of the last 10 years, have been in the state finals, the Paulistão finals. Then in the second semester, come round and they fight to stay alive. Over 160 consecutive rounds away from a top 4 position, that's since 2010. And it'll only get harder now without Robinho. I'd like to thank those who've been adding their input to my past videos. People like Alex Doe and Hai, who wondered why I didn't yet cover the lone team representing the vast Northeast, Sport Clube do Recife. Believe me, I'll get to them soon enough. Remember to voice your opinion below and subscribe to our channel in order to keep yourself updated. Thank you. Until next week when we get to Rio.